Hello and welcome to the video. This is a quick video on one of the specific functions of an EdgeTX powered radio. It's aimed at those of you that are relatively new to EdgeTX, might be coming to EdgeTX from FreeSky, Futaba, Spectrum, or maybe you're brand new to the hobby. Now there are links below to the rest of the videos in the series, as well as more advanced stuff as well. Don't forget you can find content by just looking for the thing you're interested in and adding Painless 360 to your search term here on YouTube. So let's jump on the bench and let's talk about the topic for today. So this time we're going to talk about how you limit the movement of a channel. This is sometimes referred to as rates, travel, movement. There's lots of different terms for it, but it all ultimately talks about the same thing. Now at the moment we have the aileron or roll channel. This is called a mode 2 radio. So my throttle is over here and that's unsprung, but my elevator and my aileron are over here on this right stick. Just focus at the moment for the aileron because it's the same no matter what channel or output you're talking about. So at the moment we can see that the aileron is actually moving 100% in either direction, which is what the defaults are when you set things up. How would we reduce that travel? Well, in EdgeTX, as usual, there's lots of different places that you can do it. So let's quickly go into menu and go into the inputs. Now what you can do is you can just reduce the amount of the control that comes through. So at the moment the weight is called 100%. If we just drop that down to something like 70% and we come back out, then when we look at the main screen, as I move the control, you'll now see that it only goes to 70% in each direction. Now, why would you do it on inputs versus other places? Well, in a simple setup where that aileron is going to be used for lots of other things, then just having it done once here means that every time I use that control, I'm going to get the benefit of that reduced movement that I've set up on the inputs. However, in more complicated setups, you might not want to do that. So let's just pump that up back to the 100%. So that we have maximum movement again. There we are, it's back on maximum. What we might do is we might be using aileron in other places in the model as well. It might be used as a mix for elevons, we might be using it for flaperons, all kinds of wacky stuff. In which case, we might not want to set it up on the input because that input is going to use in lots of different places where we're going to change the weight. The best place to do it when it's more complicated is actually here in the mixer. And we can go and edit, and just like we did before, we can change the weight. If I just do that and we come out, again you'll find that we're still back to 70% because rather than it being done in the input stage, it's done in the next stage, which is where the mixer is. But if I come out of this and we just go back into model, let's add another control here. So let's add another line. Let's add it to channel 6 so we can see it. Let's get the control as the aileron, which is what we've just picked up, and then let's come back out. We'll now be able to see as I move the aileron, channel 6 is still getting 100%, which we can use in other mixes or setup, whereas channel 1, which is the default one, is only moving that 70% that I've just set up. And that's personally what I would do if it's a super simple model. Stick it on inputs. If it's something like it's more complicated and you're doing mixing using that channel, I tend to leave the inputs alone and do all the smart stuff in mixer. There is one final place. I told you there was always more than one, and that is in here. So if we go into channel 1 and say edit, here on the top of the radio, you'll see that we're only going to 70% because that's what we set in the mixer. But in the very top right hand corner, I'll bring it here so you can see it, it's actually giving you the PWM value. And what we can do by clicking on max, we can actually reduce that and see the PWM value here in the top right hand corner go up and go down. And this is what I would do when you get more competent with the radio, more sophisticated, because it might be that you use a servo checker to check the movement of a control surface so you know exactly how far it can go in each direction, and maybe the maximum value it can go to is 1800 in that direction. Then by doing it here I can make sure that it never outputs more than 1800 to the servo, so it's never overdriven. So that is the third way. And again, going in kind of complexity, super simple, stick it on inputs. Standard stuff, I would just use mixer to do things like that. Or if you're going to use something like a more complicated setup with very sophisticated flaps, gear and all those things, then that's the way I would do it here. Actually keep an eye on the PWM output here on the top right hand corner of the screen, and that's going to steer you okay. If you're interested in how do you change that, check out the video in the series on dual rates. There's a link down below to all the other videos about how to set up stuff in EdgeTX. Thank you for watching my video. Check out the playlist, and adding Pedantry 360 to your search terms will help you find my content. If you haven't done so already, please hit the like and subscribe button. It helps a lot. You can support the time I spend here answering questions and helping others by using the links in the video description.